Previously, on the Lineage of Moonreach. I met a vampire named Lander, whom my comrades murdered, or rather would go on to murder later in his life, but before in their lives. It turns out that he was somehow linked to keeping the master imprisoned, and upon his destruction was set free. Gorbel, Tomas, and I parlayed with our parents some more. Mandoran let me know that he has a device in his tower that can decipher the scroll that Zara gave me, and that it is ancient magic and very powerful. He also let me know that we should probably stop going around telling people in the past that we're from the future and meddling with outcomes that could have grave consequences. Gorbel finds out that she's part hobgoblin on her father, Roshgar's side. Tomas and I decide we wanted to try and destroy the master while still in the past, but before we could enact our justice, we got sucked back to the throne room of the gods. Miraluk was revealed to be the Shade Rune, and is now bound to us. Upon returning to our plane, we were met by Fennec outside what seemed to be a fully inhabited Moonreach, and Fennec seemed to think that we had all died.
The D20 Syndicate presents The Lineage of Moonreach. Welcome back to the D20 Syndicate podcast. A weekly Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast. I am your host and DM, Seth. And around the table, we have our players.
I'm Billy, and I play Willem.
I'm Tomas, I play Tomas.
I'm Lindsey, and I play Pinwin.
And I'm Michaela, and I play Gorbel.
That's right. Each week we record for your listening pleasure, and we are currently on episode 89.
Yeah.
Getting close to my birth year.
Getting close to your birthday year. And
Getting
it is
close to my age.
Yeah.
4 more episodes, and we're there.
Yeah, right.
Wait a minute. Is that why I've never seen Mika without that necklace on? Is she a Melisandre?
Don't touch my necklace.
Tomas, do we have a new patron?
That's a weird question. But yes, we do. Weird coincidence. Yes, we do have a new patron. Dylan just joined us at the advisor level, which is just shy of the top daddy tier. He still gets access to a bunch of cool shit. But we definitely appreciate you, Dylan. Thank you so much for being an associate producer of the show. We couldn't do it without you guys.
Yeah. Yay. Welcome, Dylan. Welcome. Yes. All right, it's time for tonight's Around the Campfire question. Okay, so tonight's Around the Campfire question is: who in the party would your character prioritize rescuing in a dire circumstance? All right.
I feel like there are going to be some hurt feelings.
Yes. Nobody get mad.
Doesn't matter what.
I'm going to get mad.
Tomas is going to get mad at me, but not for the reason that you think.
What are the dire circumstances? Does it matter?
No, just like there is, you only have time to save one member of the party. Everyone else will either, they could be okay, but you have the let's not worry about that.
Is anyone slightly farther away? Because I feel like that would influence it a little bit.
Everyone is of an equal distance away.
This is a lose-lose situation because you're kind of like, you could look at it 2 ways.
And you definitely lose 2 people, too. So.
Well, they could survive. Maybe you have enough trust and confidence in them.
Oh, I guess that could be a
they'll
reason.
take care of themselves.
Are they for sure going to die if we don't help them?
You don't know. Now, it's a life or death situation. You have no other variables in this. I know you guys love your variables so that you can weasel your way into an answer. But this is like a philosophical question. This is the D&D trolley cart. You can only save one member of the party. Who would you prioritize?
Myself.
Anyway, one other member of the party. Let's start with you, Gorbel.
What? Me?
You, little old you.
Oh, I'm going to say Pinwin.
I knew it. Terrible person. Terrible person.
How did you get in here, Tomar?
I
My
heard
reasoning.
her. I had my ear to the door.
My reasoning.
This is my hole.
This is
Sorry,
my hole.
because he hides in a hole when they're doing
we
the
get
answers.
Let's ease away from the whole talk.
I'm sorry. I'm interrupting. I'm sorry. Continue, Gorbel. Tell them why you'll save me.
I feel like not that Tomar and Willem have a better chance of surviving, but I feel like I have a better chance of saving Pinwin aside from them because he's small.
Yeah.
And I can probably just scoop him up. But also I feel like Pinwin truly has like this zest for living. I feel like Tomar and Willem
That's fair.
are at
Yeah,
a
I see
point
where
in
this is
their
going.
lives where they can kind of like accept
Willem
death.
already is ready to die.
He's already tried to throw himself on the pyre like twice.
Just do him a favor.
I
Really
feel
a
like
call for help, if anything.
Willem and Tomar would probably be pretty accepting of their fate. I feel like Pinwin doesn't want to die.
Yeah,
So-
we're all Cap America and Tony Stark and Pinwin's Spider-Man. I don't feel so good, Gorbel.
Oh man, that'd be sad.
Willem.
So, you obviously have the power to veto this answer, but I'm going to throw it out there just to try anyway.
Are you going to say Jennifer?
No. I'd like to think that, and it's funny because Gorbel kind of touched on this in her answer. I'd like to think that given the opportunity, I would try to throw myself in harm's way, so to say, and take the whatever it is to try and save everybody and take the hit myself. I know that's kind of like the politician. That's the
Yeah.
political answer.
That is a political answer. How about? But
don't
how
have that
about?
option.
You don't have that option. How about this is an existentially large thing, and you know that
Okay.
you can save one person. You may or may not die yourself,
Okay.
but you can definitely save just one
one.
person.
Okay. It's hard, yeah, because of the different variables what the situation, the circumstances are. But I think as far as like connection, companionship, stuff like that, I would more than likely save Gorbel.
But the fitness club.
Thanks.
Shit, where did you come from, you
You little goblin.
goblin? Get away from me, you goblin. But yeah, Gorbel.
Fitness club disbanded.
Disbanded. So yeah,
Okay, very nice. Pinwin.
Well, who's the youngest?
Willem.
Willem's the youngest?
Yeah, since Herstag isn't around anymore.
Oh my god, her stag was
But
the youngest.
but it's like a matter of months. Like it goes you, Gorbel, Tomar, Willem.
Oh.
Pinwin's the oldest.
Yeah, I
Pinwin
am.
is the oldest. Yep. Pinwin's older by like at least a year.
That's why you guys are silly for anyone who chose me. I'm probably going to die soonest. Well,
I mean, by
don't
I feel
know.
so dumb right now.
you would die by misadventure sooner than anyone if that
That's
were the
true.
thing. But age-wise,
I did-
if you lived a
Here
full
we go.
life, then
Here
you
we
would
go.
live longer.
Age-wise, I would be the
Yeah, I would like to remind everyone, Dwarf is nice man.
Stab.
dwarf this, buddy.
Wow. This is
So yeah,
this is
what
a
are you
tough
thinking, Pinwin?
question. I mean, after hearing the other people's answers that I shouldn't have heard,
Boy, curiosity got the better of me.
Willem
Forget all
does
y'all.
seem like he just wants to kill himself constantly.
It got him on watch.
Otherwise,
Seek help. There's suicide hotlines. I don't know the phone number, but check it out.
otherwise, I mean, I normally think the youngest just because, life lived. But I guess Tomar does have that super long life.
I'm not the youngest. And then by that logic, you should choose Gorbel because she'll die way sooner than everyone else.
Or you could just let me get it out of the way.
I feel like Gorbel's your answer anyway. Like, you guys have the close friendship and stuff.
I mean, yeah.
You're braiding.
I didn't want to go straight to Gorbel, though, and I wanted to consider all options.
Is this a split-second
How did
choice?
you all get in
Yes,
here?
this is a split-second choice. You
Okay.
have just a second to, and everybody else let Pinwin answer.
Pinwin would spend that whole split second asking our agent.
And then we'd all die,
And they were all dead.
including Pinwin.
That's true. Accurate.
He died as he lived, inquisitively.
Pinquisitively.
Yeah, I think it probably would end up being Gorbel. I mean, we have the performances together and all those memories and braiding and
Yes.
All right, nice answer.
maybe if everyone else braided more.
If this is a life or death scenario, Pinwin just like looks at the braid in his hair and then just goes right for Gorbel.
Ew.
Tomar,
You had to do it, didn't you, Gorbel? You had to do it, and you had to become the most critical person to everyone's lives, and just be so damn important to everyone that they're gonna save you. I choose Gorbel. Just because, not just because. Like, obviously, our history and how we were raised. I'm protective over her life. I feel a great connection with everyone else, but they just weren't always there, you know?
I mean, she's your sister, pretty much.
Makes sense.
And I could
Kinda
always
makes sense, yeah.
always find a different Pinwin.
Excuse me.
You're not here.
Yes, I am, but you don't know I'm here.
Pinwin, put Oathbow down.
I guess this question's coming to fruition really fast.
I'm picturing Pinwin like crawling out of the hole he dug into the confession booth, just like wiping away dirty little tears.
Oh, just Tyrion's. Tomar.
you guys want to get started?
You know?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So when we last left off, you guys had been exiting the cave and returning to the village of Moonreach. And as you approached, you saw that it looked to be occupied. It looked like there were people walking around that you could see from afar. And as you came close to the gates, you saw a familiar face. You saw Fennec, formerly dead, and then formerly not dead, now very alive, no holes in his body.
He's a
And
witch.
and he seems as confused as you probably were right now. And as we last left off, he was looking and peering out at you with his hand on his blade. He had said, "What are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead."
You really shouldn't put your hand on your blade. You're gonna cut yourself.
So that's where we left off.
What do you mean?
You're dead. What are you all doing here?
Dead how? What do you mean?
You died.
Yep,
How are you
keep saying
standing in
that.
front of me?
This
Well?
is where we're from. Why wouldn't we be coming home?
You died 5 years ago. And he kind of stares out at you guys.
How?
I don't understand.
Oh, yeah. Well, we did. and it was very, very tragic, and we died very nobly, I'm sure.
Definitely not in a confession booth.
Things are a little fuzzy. We don't really remember much about anything.
But we were brought back.
Okay, go ahead and give me a deception roll.
Everyone, or just
Just Gorbel.
34.
All right, so he kind of peers out at you guys, and he looks real serious, and he's just kind of like, you were brought back by what magic?
By me.
And just going for it. Huh?
I nudge Pinwin to the front of the group.
Hi, I'm Pinwin.
Hello, Pinwin. What do you mean?
I exchange a look with Willem, like,
Well, I used a spell and I brought them back.
Give me deception.
Okay. 26.
He kind of looks you up and down. I'm unfamiliar with who you are, but you've brought them back for what purpose did you bring them back?
I mean, it looked like they were pretty important people. They were all dead. I happened to be passing by and not doing anything else with my time. And I had learned this really cool spell from this book that I read that was passed in my family. So I thought, why not?
he's a nature mage.
I'm a nature mage.
Very
I
powerful.
full on have my hand on my face, and I'm looking back and forth between Tomar and Gorbel. Oh, God.
He looks very serious and kind of like he's judging you very severely, Pinwin. He said, then he just kind of pauses. What was the name of the spell that you used to revive them?
Mass resurrection?
And he go ahead and give me another deception roll.
27?
And he kind of relaxes. Okay, I guess that checks out. Well, why have you suddenly returned after so long? Why are you here?
We don't even know how long it's been or what's going on. Everything seems way different from what we
thought
remember.
maybe coming home would jog our memories a little bit.
Well, yes. Things are quite different. And as you guys look around, as I mentioned, you could see kind of through the gates that there are a few people walking around. But as you look kind of behind you from where you came from, you see that the Midland Wilds are completely gone. They have been wiped out in some manner. You don't even see Leothandria.
Oh, man.
It just looks like at some point there was an upheaval or maybe an explosion or something.
Who's exploding the forest?
Where's the Lorax? He's mad.
They ran over him.
Oh, no. This can't be good.
This is not a good timeline.
Fennec, as you can imagine, our brains got a little scrambled, what with being dead and now being alive. Can you help us remember a few things? Like what happened and why the Midland Wilds are gone?
He still seems suspicious, and he just says like, well, long ago, during the climactic battle outside of the village of Moonreach, the druids came out. I guess I don't know exactly how resurrection works, but if I need to jog your memory, they came out of the forest, and they came to defend the village of Moonreach, and the Rothians and the druids had a climactic battle, and somehow the forest itself was destroyed. That wasn't how you all died, though.
It was destroyed that far back?
Yes. I'm not even particularly sure how it exactly happened, but something happened to destroy the majority of the Midland Wilds, at least within a few miles.
Was it so quick of an event that it couldn't have been noticed?
It sort of seemed like that, but yes, it was too far off to see what happened. There was a large flash, and then everything was on fire. The Midland Wilds were ablaze for days.
Given the way things are right now, should we maybe check out Moonreach and maybe try and lay low for a little bit?
Yeah, just based on your reaction, Fennec, it's probably best if fewer people see us.
Yes, that I think that would be wise. You can, I definitely can treat you at my home. If you'll follow me, I can shield you from eyes that you'd rather, if you might prefer, not to see you.
Yeah, I think that would be best, especially since you were so jostled that at the sight of us, we don't know how anybody else is gonna react.
Yes, probably not as good as I might. So follow me, and I will, and I'll show you to my home. And he heads in through the gates. And do you guys follow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is Mirrorluck with us?
Mirrorluck is with you. He's been kind of silent this whole time, but he's standing there. He's got his sword on his back, and he's just kind of like shadowing you guys. Mm. So you guys enter the village of Moonreach, and it looks different. Obviously, there's people everywhere.
Do we recognize them?
Not most of them. They all look. They all have kind of like burnished complexions, kind of lighter hair color. In general, they're dressed like with bright colored clothes. A lot of the buildings are painted different, and there's a lot of like newer additions to the village. In architecture that's not particularly native to Valtel.
Interesting.
Do we see any of our old haunting grounds or anything?
You see that as you walk through, you can see that the Swan and Kobold, you guys' childhood tavern, that sounds weird, the tavern from your childhood,
where we had Kool-Aid,
has now been rebranded as the Swan and the Stone. And the
so
former...
close.
Yeah, the former picture has been replaced by that of a swan and a stone on the banner that hangs over the door.
A little on the nose.
Yeah, a little on the nose, but it's a descriptive name. And you guys see that it used to be like kind of a brown, kind of just a very woodsy color. Now it's a bright yellow color, and it's got white trim. It's been very, very well maintained, and there's some additions to it. And it looks like there's even a distillery that has been not too far in the past. It was constructed, and it's a big distillery. You can see that there are some copper pipes and stuff coming out of it. And as you kind of pass, go ahead and everybody give me a history check.
16.
7. Sorry.
16 for Tomar, 7 for Gorbel.
26.
26 for Willem. What'd you get, Pinwin?
14.
14. Okay, so Willem and Tomar, when you were kids, Willem, when you were a kid, you had introduced Tomar to a book that you found.
Whatever, I found it.
In the tunnel.
With a 26, he definitely found it. He found this book and he showed it to you, Tomar. And it was like a illustrative, like children's, booklet that depicted this pirate who would go on adventures, and he was from Rothia, and the illustrations in there when he went home to Rothia very closely resemble a lot of the architecture that you see in the different buildings here, the ones that you're not familiar with.
Mother Puss Bucket.
Mother Puss Bucket, indeed. You could probably surmise that there's, now that you're kind of all looking at the assembly of people, they also look a bit Rothian to you, with their complexions and their lighter hair color.
They just stormed in and took up shop everywhere, took everybody's business.
We've
It
got
kinda
a
seems like
occupation.
Ben Mort's pork chop is still standing though. He's probably thriving.
He runs the town now.
Mayor.
Mort. Mayor Mort.
Coincidentally, as you guys kind of round the corner, you guys do see Tomar. You're looking for your father's old shop,
Yeah.
which is no longer your father's shop. But next to it is a well-to-do building, large with lots of expansions, and a brilliant marquee over that says Mort's Port Shorp.
God damn it.
It seems to be
Mort's
thriving.
pork chop. Did he expand into my dad's shop? Like, he always used to talk about wanting to take over our space. So.
Yeah, it's definitely encroaching on what was originally your property, and he probably owns both buildings now, but the other building doesn't have any adornment whatsoever, but it does look like untouched.
God damn it.
But yeah, as you guys continue down, you guys pass a few other buildings that you remember. You also pass the blacksmith. You remember Sharon from when you were children. She was the blacksmith. She also seemed to have some sort of relationship with Fennec, and as you'll recall, when the Rothian invaders came in and you guys came back,
she was whooping ass, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's implied that she was, because her and Fennec were found dead, riddled with arrows and sword wounds
Surrounded
on a pile
by,
of
corpses.
Rothian soldiers.
Yeah.
And she was one-armed too, so imagine what she could do with two. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so you see her smithy, which is no longer, it doesn't bear the markings that you remember, and she had a simple sign before that just said smithy, and now it says Oster's Smith above the door. So as you guys continue, you arrive at Fennec's house, and he holds the door open for you guys, and you guys enter, and the first thing you notice is how neat, tidy, and orderly everything seems to be. Not as tidy and orderly as, say, Harkin's house was, where it looked like nobody lived there, but there's a very soldiery, utilitarian vibe to his home. Like, everything seems just very clean, and just kind of he would be like the medieval equivalent of what's the word I'm looking for? A minimalist. He doesn't have a lot of things around, it doesn't seem like. And he leads you into his kind of drawing room, and you guys can see that there is a hearth, a roaring hearth going, and there's a kettle above the flames, and he kind of looks around, and he actually looks a little bit apologetic as you see only one chair and a small table in there and nowhere else to sit. And he's kind of looks a little bashful. Sorry, I don't often entertain guests, so you're welcome to stand.
We're fine with standing.
That's fine. Also, did we find out that he had like a military background?
Yeah,
like
he was. He was the guy in Zara's journal that Gorbel and I read. He was one of the Crown's Guard in
he was the
Demonster.
Crown's Guard.
So he was a badass too.
So
makes sense.
it makes
So
sense.
it's not that
as
out
to
of
why-
place for us, probably. I'm assuming that he has
Yeah.
it neat and tidy in here.
Yes, but it's definitely like this is probably the first time you've ever been in his home. But yeah, he
Finally made it in.
After all this time.
All it took was messing up the whole world.
And he kind of looks at you guys. So, you're back finally. It's good to see. Well, most of you, and just meeting you, Pinwin, and the fella with the big sword.
Yeah.
And Mirluck just nods.
Yeah,
Hey.
Don't worry about him. He's kind of like a hired hand. We met him on the road. Okay? So we don't remember dying at all. We just remember being brought back. Can you tell us how that happened? And
Well,
when it
everything's really foggy for
What-
us.
Yeah,
what
I mean,
year
I
even
tried.
Before dying.
Yeah, I tried to tell them. It just got a little, sometimes I'm not the best at explaining things, so.
I see. Yeah, no, that's something I hope to never experience being brought back from the dead. But it seems like it's.
I mean,
That's ironic. Ooh. Boy,
on.
have I got news for you.
But he's just like, well, so I don't know exactly what happened, but it's rumored that all of you left and you ended up getting killed by some monstrous beast of some sort in the eastern portion of Valtel. You went off on some journey or another.
eastern portion?
Yes, I feel like near maybe Deepminster or Starhost or Rose Lake or something like that.
All of those
East,
places are still
northeast.
around?
Yes, they're all around still.
Why did we leave here?
Well, you guys were part of some faction, I believe, in military. I was kind of busy here for the most part, but you guys were sort of doing your own thing. You hadn't been back since shortly after the occupation. I'd only seen you maybe once or twice after that.
So, are all those towns under Rothian rule now?
The one, Deepminster and them?
Everywhere.
No, just under. It stretches to about halfway across what was originally Valtel. Now it's part of Rothia.
How far is Rothian encroached into Valdelin, you said?
Yeah, about halfway to where it originally was. Up, Bronzewall is a border area that kind of it's the first one now that sort of separates the two countries. And then of course there's Aegir, where the Dragonborn live. They've been a pocket of resistance, and then the treaty, of course, was signed, and they were allowed to have their area still to be a part of Valdelin.
What treaty?
It was a treaty that was drawn up by the new controlling council in Valdelin of nobles. They drew it up to stop Rothia from completely overtaking Valdelin.
What happened to the king?
I'm sorry.
Wait, what did you say, Willem?
I was going to say, there wasn't a man named Marston involved in that treaty, was there?
There may have been. I'm not sure. I don't know some of the nobles involved, but possibly.
What about the king? Why is there a council? What's going on with the king?
Well, the royal family was wiped out. I'm surprised you don't remember any of that. The royal family was completely wiped out not long after Rothia started their occupation here.
Even the young boy?
Even the young boy, yeah.
That long ago?
Yeah, yes. He was just a babe. I think he was 2 or 3.
What?
I mean, yeah.
There's a lot
What about
of...
our parents? Did our parents fight the the takeover, the Rothian invasion?
They were already dead at that point. Which
How did they die in this time? I mean, how
in
did they die?
They died fighting against the Rothians in one of the last campaigns before everything kind of went to hell. Before they occupied this town, which checks out. That's essentially what happened.
Yeah, not much different.
Yeah.
Has there been any, like, weird portals or anything opening up? Or is everyone kind of safe? And
portals. And he looks at you very seriously. Now, for someone who's just been revived from the dead, it'd be interesting questions to be asking.
We've heard things in our travels. It's not that outlandish of a question.
Give me a deception roll.
18.
I see, yes. Sorry, I don't know where my mind was going on that. It's interesting that you asked that, because in the last just couple of years, we've heard of portals opening up around Valtel and some all manner of creature pouring out.
is that what killed us?
I don't know. I'm not sure what killed you all. I wasn't there, but I just received the letter later on.
Who
Who sent the letter? Jinx.
That would be Belden.
Where's
he at?
In Smoozog.
Why didn't he use mass resurrection?
Well, I assume Smoozog died with you. I'm surprised to not see him here with you, but he left with Belden originally, and then he rumored to join up with all of you. Belden, I believe he's on some mission or another, still fighting the good fight with the Valtelian army. Sorry. And he looks around, just fighting the fight with the Valtelian army.
Is Beldan known for being a good tactician?
Is that out of character?
Sure. I don't know. Maybe.
Gasp.
That is a great question.
Well, I was kind of,
Tomas.
I'm asking Fennec.
Well, I don't know if he's considered a good tactician. I know that he's got a team of people with him that are quite good at what they do, but they are, as far as I know, I just know that he's good at the actual fight, but I'm not sure if he's considered a fantastic tactician or not.
One of those members of the team wouldn't happen to be named Aro.
Well, it could be. I guess I'm not familiar with the particulars of his team. I haven't seen Belden in longer than it's been since I've seen you, honestly. I was very surprised that he sent the letter that said you'd all died.
You don't remember seeing a white dragonborn at all, do you?
I do not know.
So who's actually in charge of the town now?
You've got some Rothians that are running the show. There's a Salon Farlight, and you guys recall the name Salon Farlight as the guy you killed during the insurrection.
You mean
long
Salon
ago.
Fartlight?
I feel like we would have made that joke already if you told us his name.
I mean, yeah. That's what I thought right away.
Yes, so he seems to still be alive. He and a couple other Rothian generals are running things. They took over poor Glee Vilfetre. He's no longer, and you guys remember Glee Vilfetre was the original mayor, kind of a bumbling mayor, but he meant well, and he always, like, no matter how bad you guys seem to mess up, he tended towards going easy on you. But it doesn't appear he's in charge anymore.
What about Lars? Is he still around?
Lars, I don't know that name.
He was about our age.
No, I don't know who that is.
Hung with that little asshole kid. Jalen.
No, I don't remember a Lars.
Ooh. What the fuck?
Do you remember Jalen?
Yeah, I remember Jalen.
What about oh my god, why am I drawing a blank on her
Myra?
name? Myra.
Myra
What about
Greencross?
Myra?
She's off. I believe she left a couple of years after you. She went to Deepminster. She went to try her trade in politics. I feel like she might be working as like a sort of an ancillary aid or something for the council there.
Well, the absence of Lars's influence doesn't seem to have done her any favors. Sounds like she still went down the same path. I'd start to trail off because I realize I'm saying this in front of Fennec.
I'm looking at Wilma. What are you doing?
We're all just eyes wide open, shaking our head.
Well, that's not much of a surprise given her state of character from when we were children.
I mean, she was always acting like she was better than this place.
Yeah.
Things sound rough around here, man. I'm sorry that the years haven't been good to everyone.
Well, it's all right. It's good to see some of you that I recognize back. It's just interesting and a bit confusing if you excuse me for that, because it's very strange to see someone you heard was dead return from the dead.
I can imagine so.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially coming back to it without much of your memory. I'm sure. What is the last thing you remember?
There's something with a boar.
No,
Boar.
we remember. I mean, I remember the siege for sure.
It's all bits and pieces, and once you start filling in the blanks, it all starts to connect more.
So we lived here after the siege, or did we just leave and not come back?
Yeah, you lived here for a couple of years, but you didn't like it. You constantly had issues with the new people in charge.
Did we
and-
say anything before leaving, or why we were leaving?
No, you didn't even say goodbye to me, which I understand. If you've got something important to do, you don't always have time to bid your salutations. But no, you all left at the same time, a couple of years in, and then I saw you maybe once or twice after that, always clandestinely, and then you were gone. You never gave me an indication as to what you were up to, but it always seemed to be something that you deemed important.
Well, very sorry about, not saying goodbye, but I feel like if we did operate that way, it was in your best interest, and maybe we were trying to keep you safe from whatever it was that we were involved in.
Oh, I don't have any sore feelings about it, don't you worry.
Good.
I understand the necessity of holding your tongue in private matters and matters of importance.
Fat
But hey,
load of
we
good
really
it did.
appreciate you filling us in a little bit. And
Well, okay. What about? Has any towns been razed to the ground at all, or is everyone good? Or
It seems that there's some fighting going on. There's some skirmishes, especially along the border, the new border with Rothia and Valtel, and I don't quite know what's going on there. The word around here isn't always very kind on Valtel, and since this is technically part of Rothia now.
But nothing you've heard would suggest that entire cities were completely wiped out.
Well, I guess it's just filtered information. It's kind of, like I said, Valdelinian word doesn't happen often around here, but I had heard that Ravenmoor, over there, just on the upside of the Hawthorne Valley, had seen a very dramatic end. Something happened there. Seems the city was wiped out.
Ravenmoor. Did they happen to say, or did you hear how or why?
I did not know.
what about Roundfoot Town? You ever hear about that?
What about Roundfoot Town?
Never mind.
It's our Rothian territory now.
Oh, man. Rothian Foot Town.
Anyway, yo,
Yeah, no,
yo,
thank you for that. But it didn't deserve it.
are you hungry at all? Any of you? Do you need anything to eat?
Yeah.
I think we all could eat.
Well, there's a new up and coming chef who just started over at the Swan and Stone. But he's not as good as Winston. You'll recall Winston from when you were kids, but he knows his way around a kitchen, so I can have him whip something up for us, and I'll be back. And he looks at you guys all kind of seriously in 21 minutes, and then he turns on his heel and then marches out the door.
Did you say
What was
21
that?
minutes?
What was that?
21?
What?
Why not like 20?
Is that how long it takes for them to make whatever he's making? I don't know.
I have no idea.
That is pretty
He
precise.
orders the special a lot. He's the minute.
He's got it down pat. Like
He brings a
times it now.
stopwatch, yeah.
He has always been really anal about these types of things.
So we're in a bad timeline. We fucked up something.
I do not know how to fix this.
Do we?
And we can't even ask Leithondria right now because she doesn't exist anymore.
Can we just rewind and go back to the gods and be like, "Hey guys,
I don't know. What did we do? What did we do wrong?
We
And
told
how?
everybody we came back from the future.
Well, who all did we talk to?
All of our parents.
Parents.
The vampire guy.
oh, he did find out that we killed him. Maybe he did some magic.
But some of the stuff is different too. Like even way back when we were kids is different.
Well, and Miraluk grabbed the ring from Gorbel's mom.
Oh.
Could that have been instrumental in something that happened between then and when we got there?
We went back when we were babies.
Yeah.
So it was definitely someone there because by the time we get older, then the Arngrims are already taken out. And there's a council there in place. Which is different than how it happened in our time.
Wait, did he say the Arngrims were killed? Like, are they dead? Or are
All
they
of them were
just-
dead. And he said it was tragic and everything. Like even the baby. And I don't know if it's the same council or whatever, but they've taken over, at least in Veldon. I don't know why they allowed Rothians to encroach everywhere.
Crap, is there even anything we can do here that's going to be of any use, or are we just going to mess things up more?
I mean,
Well, it's hard to tell right now because we don't know how different everything else is. But I mean, it sounds like.
Heckin' different.
we didn't
Well,
find
yeah,
out
but we don't
when-
know the specifics.
We don't
and I
know
mean,
when we are even officially, as far
That's
as the exact year.
true.
Like, we're not... If we do anything here, we're not changing the past at all, I don't think. We'd just be changing this present.
Is
But-
this even part of the... Like, did we alter our timeline, or are we in another just pocket universe that's different from our own?
I don't know.
Maybe they just sent us back to the wrong timeline.
Who?
The gods.
Why would they screw that up?
I don't know, because time travel is volatile and weird, and
Why would they
It's
allow
hard.
anything to be destroyed outright like they have been?
Maybe.
What if a bunch
maybe
of the
they're
cities...
just not good at it.
Maybe
That's
they had to go to
very
the bathroom
possible.
really bad then, and they just had to go quick. And
What
was
is it
too
with
fast.
you in the bathroom, Pinwin?
They were
Pinwin, do you have to
gone.
pee? You can go outside. Pinwin.
I've just.
Are you
been
trying to
there.
tell us you
I
have a lot of
understand.
accidents in the restroom?
No, I mean I've been there. You know.
This didn't
Been
happen.
there. You know, restrooms, they're great. I've been there. I love them. They're the best.
This didn't happen until the time corrected itself. Because we were back in time where the gods sent us. And we were doing stuff then. And then as soon as we were brought back to the present, when the time
We
was up,
assume.
now everything is all screwed up.
That's hypothetical or theoretical because technically they could have sent us back in time to that timeline. We go back to the gods' realm, and then from there, who knows where they sent us? We could have gone to a completely different alternate universe. But I mean, it sounds like a lot of the cities that got destroyed in ours are still standing here. So what if it's not that terrible that things are as different as they are overall?
Are you suggesting we like think about staying here? Because I don't know, man. Like, I feel
Here's
like
the thing. What if we don't have the choice on staying here, and we have to accept that this is the new?
Well, that
we don't. We know even
Timeline.
less here than we did there, and we didn't know anything there.
We don't know shit, Mr. Moon.
Like, this is not a good timeline, and I think we're set back more here with like everyone being dead.
occupation.
None of the people we met here met before know us here, so we'd have to win them over somehow, assuming they're not like working with the enemy now.
Then all of the killing progress we made already is completely undone.
We still have the experience, though, and we could be more efficient at it if the need arises for us to re-kill anybody that we've already
I don't know.
done so
And
before.
if we're talking about other dimensions and stuff, if we're in a different place, then that means we've doomed our other dimension, the one we're from, and we need to fix that one.
But what if we leave this one, having known full well the conditions of what this one is in? If we leave this one, if we even have that choice or option, we're essentially dooming this one as well.
Well, Gorbel, do you still have the necklace?
Yes.
So we know for sure we can at least travel 3 times in time. But
Yes.
I think Pinwin had a good idea as far as going to the gods, maybe, if possible, to see if
I
they
agree.
know what the hell we did. Or-
It could be, if we use the necklace, it could be a complete waste of time if we're not even in the correct timeline.
Leofandria
Or
had
correct.
said not to tell anyone that we traveled in time.
We told a
Right.
bunch.
Yeah, we did,
yeah,
but
we did.
that's
But that was
hindsight now.
before.
Yeah,
But we're also not supposed to interact with
ourselves.
So we can't tell ourselves not to tell
Whatever-
other people
wherever we go
before
in-
we're told not to tell people. After having told people,
wherever we go,
we
it has
write
to
our-
be before or after we went to those places already, because we
Why
can't
did we
see each
trust
other
ourselves
again.
To do this?
And then, oh man,
Can we
Why
write
did God
ourselves
let
a
us
letter?
do this?
why did omniscient beings trust us with this, knowing full
clearly
well
too
that we
stupid
would
to-
fumble Rooski at all?
Totally on them.
should we even be talking like this in here?
What?
He was
What do you
acting
mean?
really weird.
Oh.
Oh,
you're
how
not
long has it
wrong.
been? Has it been 21 minutes?
No,
'Cause I'm
not
really
yet,
hungry.
but I don't know. I'm gonna look around. I don't know how safe this is. I don't know. I feel weird about how he left. I don't know if it's safe in here to talk, even though we just talked a bunch. But can I like investigate to see if there's anything magical or funky anywhere in the room?
Yeah. Does anybody else want to investigate?
I'm definitely going to take a look around.
Can
Okay.
I?
not.
Yeah. Can I use perception and just kind of see if I see anything out of the ordinary, like someone hiding or something?
Okay. Yeah, you guys didn't notice it, but there's a guy behind the curtain.
There's a guy pretending
He
to be
was
a
here the
shifter
whole time.
They do The Simpsons doing, what was it, Macbeth? And he just stabs him through the curtain. Stabs Polonius.
Yeah, okay. What did you guys get?
17.
17?
27.
Okay.
38.
Whoa.
So you perceive the hell out of this room, Pinwin. Okay, yeah,
Dang,
we'll
it
go
feels good to be 20.
So, Pinwin, we'll start with you. You're getting a good look at this place, and like I mentioned, it's extremely orderly. But you notice that one of the walls near you, it's very faint, but you can tell, based on the way the light's hitting it, that it's a slightly different color than the rest of the wall. And it seems to be maybe like a 2-foot section of that wall, as though it's been painted over and covered over, and they tried to match the paint really well.
It's Metal Gear Solid again. You got to get the C4.
Blow it up. Willem, you are searching around, and you find above the hearth, you find this maybe like 8-inch in circumference, magical-seeming disc. It seems to be made out of glass, like a translucent blue glass. It's got some like runes written around it. And Tomar, you also find one of those. You find that kind of tucked behind the chair that is on the other side of the room. So you guys have found these two objects.
I knew this dude was funky, and then I show Gorbel this thing, and I look at
What is
Willem,
that?
and I see it. He has something very similar. I don't know. Can I?
Coaster?
I think it's like a frisbee. Yeah.
Hits Willem in the face.
Yeah, you guys. It looks strange. It doesn't seem to fit with the rest of the decor of the room.
Can I inspect it?
You can. Yeah. Go ahead and give me an inspection.
You said it seemed magical, just
Yeah, vaguely.
by sight or touch.
Yeah, there's something. It's definitely not forged by a regular.
I mean, I got 19.
craftsman. 19. Yeah, it's kind of like I was saying. There's something off about it, and those runes lead you to believe that it is magical in nature.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Identify.
Nice.
Okay, on the disc.
Yes.
On my face.
On my face. Who am I?
What is a Willem?
Willem, you cast Identify on this object, and you find that it is basically a device that has been forged to allow two-way transmissions of visuals or sounds. And it is connected to a network of others. You can kind of discern that there's probably others like it, and they are all connected, and one can see through to any of the other branches of this network.
And you guys laughed when I took that community college course about sysadmin. I'm about to bring this whole network down.
There's no money in sysadmin. There's no money. You should have taken the English degree, like I said.
Am I able to tell if the one that Tomar is handling and the one that I'm handling are connected to the same network and
Yeah,
or
maybe
to
it's
each other?
Maybe it's like a walkie-talkie, and he just wants to talk across the room to himself.
Bidwell! Bidwell!
I can hear him. You're standing right next to him. What a stupid movie.
You can tell that these two discs are not connected to the same network. They seem to be connected to different networks because you can kind of sense from your Identify that they're kind of spread out throughout the area.
How big of a room are we in?
This room, it's like a 20 by 10 room.
Why would you
It's
need,
not super big.
why would you need two to go to different places?
And
This
you can-
guy is so hot that he's got two different entities spying on him.
Like, if this son of a bitch goes into the other corner of the room, I'm gonna get him still. Like, I got
We want
surround
full
sound in
coverage.
here.
They don't have a lot of range yet.
Don't be
That's coming in the 2.5 patch.
But yeah, you can also tell that it is currently not active. So whatever.
Either of them, or
Yeah, neither of them are active.
Have we seen anything like this before?
You have not.
Okay.
This seems new.
do you
So-
tell me what that is then?
Yeah. So we've got like some scrying devices here. They don't seem to be connected to each other per se, or even to the same source.
What?
Nope, don't like that. And then I grab it. I grab it out of Willem's hand, and like,
He doesn't even get to finish his
We don't know
sentence.
what activates it.
like,
Are we sure that
are
it's
there
not active?
do we have bathrooms here? How do bathrooms work? Is there like an outhouse or something?
Gonna flush the stash.
Yeah, so some places, the more wealthy people would have like a
How has this never come up yet?
a latrine, but
Been
no.
holding it this whole time.
I actually
Just
think
like
this
the
has come out.
gods.
It's come up before, I think, but I might be making that up.
Well,
It's possible.
Is it? Does he have an outhouse?
Yeah, he has an outhouse. He wouldn't have a
Flush
bathroom
the
inside of his
wire.
house.
I'm gonna run out back and throw them in the in the toilet, and then come back in.
Okay. So you have just gotten rid of the evidence.
So I
Now they're onto
also
us.
found something else. Do you notice anything weird about this wall? Come look at it.
What do you mean?
Look at
Where?
it. It
And-
looks off.
And now that Pinwin has pointed it out, the wall is very, very faintly a different color in one section. Like just slightly different color of like eggshell white.
That's a bad paint job, Pinwin.
I know. Yep.
Should have
You
used
always
Dutch
did have
boy.
an eye for decor.
Well, I'm gonna look back and forth at everybody, and then like pull my hammer out, and I'll just whap the wall.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
guess.
whoa, 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 whoa! What are we doing?
What?
Okay, give me a. How hard are you gonna hit it?
As hard as it would take at least a normal person to hit a wall with a big ass hammer of flames.
Oh, okay. I won't.
Demolition Man.
I won't even have you roll for that then. Yeah, you guys watch as Tomar just like removes his weapon and then just
I also go when I do it, like I cough, like trying to cover it up.
and you guys watch as it connects with the wall, and then this section of wall just kind of crumbles away, and smoke starts to fill the room from where he hit it. And then you guys
You found
slowly.
the jewel that we have to put in the town square fountain to unlock this stairway to get down to the hidden passage.
What if it
Yeah.
was just Fennec behind the wall? He was like trying to watch us, and I just fucking crushed his face.
And he's just like,
He's
Just
like, it
slumps
was in
dead.
21 minutes.
It's like Bird after reading with the closet.
why aren't your pants on, Fennec?
I like to watch. As the smoke starts to disperse a little bit, you guys see a glint inside the wall. Something shiny's in there.
Is it treasure?
I reach
Kind
in.
of.
The treasure.
I reach in.
As it disperses, you see Steel Song,
What?
Tomar's father's sword. Is in the
Again?
wall.
Again. I'm telling you.
I'm glad they had a
Dual
bad paint job.
wielding.
Oh shit! Wait. Okay, so
Do it. Do
the
it.
long beard is still here. Like it didn't. get-
Correct. The Longbeard still exists.
What
You just smash the wall with it, and then you're looking at it, and you look at Steel Song, and you look back at it again, like,
I just turn around to them and I look at them all confused. Why?
Yeah.
Why is this?
How?
Why is this
Cool.
here?
why does he have Steel Song? How does he have Steel Song? Why is it in the wall? Why was it poorly hidden?
Yeah.
Why does he have two different scrying devices from seemingly two different entities? What is going on? I do not like this new Rothupation
How,
Moonreach.
are we even in the right timeline?
I don't think there is such a thing anymore at this point.
How can there... I
I
just
took
don't understand.
I took Steel Song during the siege of Moonreach.
Evidently not this time.
I made a point to specifically take it. I don't know why or how this would be here at all.
Well, I mean, it sounds like timeline this timeline us sucked because we got punked out by
Was this the one?
nobody of note, evidently. Nothing noteworthy because nobody can tell us who killed us.
What if it was
Granted, we only
me?
talked
What
to
if
one
this is
guy,
the one
but-
where it was me where I killed you all?
But you were a force for good and we were a force for bad. I feel like if we were evil here, then Fennec would have told us that. Or and
is-
not
Unless
even-
Fennec is
It is a
evil.
different timeline in the same universe. I just realized this because Mandorans told me multiple times that I only exist in this universe.
That's true.
Fair.
Also, now that I'm thinking
Smart.
about it, maybe there's something weird about Dad's shop.
I'm so confused.
Other
Because-
than Mort taking over the...
Yeah,
sorry.
but I
never
mean,
mind.
he kept the sword in his shop, in his workshop area, and that's where I had found that item before.
Were Gorm and Fennec, like, friends?
They were cordial. They didn't interact that much.
But not close?
No, just Dad and Zara, obviously.
I peek out the window. Guys, how much time do we have left?
I don't know. But
It's
Wait.
been about 10 minutes, we'll say.
Wait, should someone go to my mom's house? Since we have the ring now.
Yeah, probably.
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah, that's partially why we came back in the first place. Like we
Wait,
need
should
to.
we all? Should
I don't
we all
know.
go? or-
Ugh, I don't know because I feel like we'll stick out like sore thumbs in a sea of Rothians.
That's probably true.
But wait. Everything here was pretty much immaculate except for the paint job, of course. Again, great eye, Pinwin.
Oh, I can.
We should
I can fix
probably-
this. I can fix this. I can fix the wall, and then I cast mending on the wall.
And you guys watch as Tomar casts his spell, and like pieces of a puzzle fitting back together all of a sudden, the wall just kind of, all the pieces lift up and float back into their spot, and everything is sealed, and there's no more smoke even. It all kind of like funnels backwards into the wall, and suddenly everything is back to normal.
Wouldn't it be funny if, like, you had to roll on how good the mending job was?
That would suck.
Like, it's just held together by
It's a natural one.
Band-Aids.
It's just like a peach of.
It's already a pretty shitty. It's already a pretty
your might
shitty
of mending.
cantrip. You know, like you don't have very many uses for mending. So to add more stipulations to it would just suck, man.
Yeah.
Surprised you never tried it on my broken heart.
Oh.
It's got to exist to be able to mend.
Super burn.
You can have
Double
a point
burn.
towards Boone, Tomar,
Oh, hell yeah.
for burning my girlfriend.
Being saucy.
Take that.
Saucy.
Done.
Shit.
Okay, so I'll just go back. I know I can go fast, but
Wait.
not as fast because I already used my boon today.
Well,
Well, hang tight.
before that, you should telepathic bond with us in case something
Yes.
weird happens.
And you don't necessarily have to move fast. I can make you invisible.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
a good
that's
idea.
good. There we go.
Solid.
And in the meantime,
We still got some
Well-
time left. I think we need to investigate this house more.
that's fair. Okay.
And then
Okay, so I'll meet you guys back here.
maybe we might want to go back to the gods. So maybe we'll go.
To the well?
Yeah, we could.
In the cave?
If Mort's tunnel is still there, we could take that out of the city instead and encounter less people. Maybe
That makes sense.
That sounds good. Less people.
I don't know.
Okay,
good.
so
You
for
investigate
now,
the house
yeah.
first, and then
Yeah.
we'll see if the stuff is in here, and then
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be here. We'll keep searching here. If it gets to the point where you can't make it back in time, maybe we'll just meet up in the tunnel.
Okay, we'll be in touch.
Yeah, he seemed really specific. And with all these scrying devices, he seemed kind of skittish, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
He kept correcting himself when he was talking about anything having to do with the Rothian occupation. So I'm wondering if maybe he's still, I don't know, like some sort of freedom fighter, and they're suspicious of him. They might be coming back with him.
I mean, we did find out that he was a member of the Crown's Guard. I think his loyalties probably still lie with them.
Yeah, Fennec's always been a pretty cool dude. So there's a good chance that he knew, but he couldn't tell us. So
You
by
mean
giving
like
us that like that specific time frame. Okay. I reach out my hand to have Gorbel clasp
wait.
my arm.
Wait, before that, everyone
Okay.
eyes on me.
Oh, okay.
I make eye contact with everyone and cast telepathic bond.
You guys are telepathically bonded.
Are we up?
We're using the zoom of Lineage.
I was thinking
Tomar, Tomar, I can't hear you.
Bring.
Tomar, are you connected?
Yes, I'm in.
Pinwin?
What are your top
Hello?
5 favorite bands?
It's me.
ASL.
Okay.
AFI.
All right, let's do it.
All right. I clasp Gorbel's arm
Okay.
and I whisper a little something something to turn her invisible.
Okay, and suddenly Gorbel disappears.
Can you see me?
No.
Awesome. Okay. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right. Be careful.
So you guys watch as the door opens and closes on its own, and Gorbel has left the chat. But you guys are going to continue to investigate. But with for right now, we're going to have Gorbel. We're going to follow you. So you're heading to your mom's house?
Yes.
Okay, so you begin moving down the path, and you are quick. So it doesn't take you long to get back there. It's not far away anyway. But you get to what you remember as your mother's abode, but it does look different. There's a different paint job to it. There's a fence that's been erected in the side area. And you notice that as you look at the windows, there's some really gaudy curtains that you would never, there's no way your mom would have ever hung something like that as window curtains. Somebody else is obviously living here.
Drat. All right, does it look like anyone's home?
You can't tell, but it's probably better safe to assume that someone might be home.
Okay, can I see anything like through the windows or hear anything?
Give me perception.
Pretty good, 22.
So yeah, you can hear something is inside the house. You can't see anything through the window, but you can hear some rummaging around. You can hear some voices. They sound like muffled shouts.
Okay. I go behind a tree.
Okay, so there's a tree in the backyard, so you go to that. Mm-hmm. Okay, and now what are you gonna do?
I bark.
You bark.
I bark.
That's pretty good. Go ahead and give me performance.
Roll to dog.
I rolled way better last time. 32.
32. So you sound exactly like a barking dog.
What breed?
A Valdilinian short hair, and you, and all of a sudden, you see the back door open up, and this very large, rotund man, wearing an apron and covered in flour, comes stumbling out the door, anger in his eyes. Is that stupid dog back? And he starts marching around the backyard, and he seems to be looking for a dog, and he's just like, "Come here, you little mutt! I will snap your neck!" And he's looking around, like, "I know you're out here! I will kill you, you stupid mutt!" And then you hear from inside the house, "You're burning the baguettes! Hurry, hurry, they're getting burned!" And then the large guy out there, he turns like, "I told you not to set the flames so high. What are you talking about? Why is the baguettes burning? It's up to you to control the flames." And then you hear, "You are stupid. I was not controlling the flames. You are controlling the flames. Now the baguettes are burnt. We will have to sell them to the Crocaligo and make bruschetta." And he's just like, well, you can see that this argument might take a moment.
Is the door left ajar?
The door is ajar.
Perfect. Okay.
No, it's not.
It's a door.
It's a door. Me and Lindsey.
Say goodbye to Willem.
Whoa! Hey.
All right.
It was always meant to happen like this. I welcome it with open arms.
This is why we didn't save him.
Because he was making a dad joke during the cataclysm.
Okay. I creep over to the door and kind of slip in silently.
As you slip in, you can see off to the right where the kitchen is. There is a roaring hearth, and there is a shelving unit up above that looks like a makeshift oven, kind of. It's got a little bit of a cover to it, and there's some smoke billowing out of it. And you can see another large man whose face looks very similar to the man out there. You could probably surmise that they are brothers. And he's just like, under his breath, like pissed off at the state of things. But as you're heading towards the spot, right, with the raven symbol.
Yes.
So yeah, and then you look, and above the flames, you see essentially a flat iron that is not a flat iron, like a flat top grill sort of situation, just a chunk of metal above the flame, and you can see that these baguettes are just blackened. They are charred. They've
Are they cooking them like pancakes? That's how you make bread.
So yes, it definitely appears like they do not know what they are doing. This might be their first foray into baking, perhaps. But no, and the state of them, they're both covered in flour, and in a exaggeratedly so.
I pause to look at what a surprisingly terrible job this baker is doing.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And he's frustrated. He's still yelling out like, "Hurry back in! Kill that dog and continue so we can make some more baguettes!"
So violent.
And and then you kind of look around, and the house. Yeah, your mom wouldn't have been happy to see the state of this house. It's very gaudy. There's a lot of figurines everywhere, stone little figurines.
Tchotchkes.
Tchotchkes and the like. It's a surprisingly different. It doesn't even feel like the same house at this point because there's so much that's different inside.
I think back to everyone. Rothian style is terrible.
Really?
Double.
How?
Terrible.
Omelette du fromage.
Gaudy as hell.
Ooh.
And I continue on.
Okay, so you head into the room towards the front of the house that you know holds this seal. And you go to the spot that you remember it being, but you find that it is not there.
Exasperated sigh.
Think back to everyone. Guys, it's not here.
What'd you do?
Nothing. The symbol's not here. I don't know if the fat bakers just buffed it out of the floor or what.
What
but
are
it's
you
not
talking
here.
about?
Fat bakers, huh?
There are some fat bakers living here. They have bad style and they're mean to dogs. But that's not the point. There's nothing here.
Normally I'd be like, well, let's explore that further because I don't like the idea of people not being nice to dogs, but we do have way heftier problems on our plate.
All right, I'm going to come back.
Well, on your way, maybe look around and see if you see anything weird or anybody.
No,
weird.
I'm going to run back with my eyes closed, Tomar.
That's not advisable.
Okay.
As your legal counsel, I cannot advise that you do this.
So
right,
you're going to look around?
Before I leave, I'm just going to glance around quick to see if anything sticks out at me.
Okay. Go ahead and give me perception.
Natural 1.
Natural 1, so that brings it to
5.
to 5. Okay. Yeah,
What do I
Gorbel,
You
see?
are closing your eyes.
Christ.
Sometimes I forget to open them when I blink.
It's a manual operation.
And open and close and open. Gorbel, the layout of this house is so strange now that you're just overwhelmed by how different it is, and it kind of disgusts you to see your childhood home kind of just looking so gaudy and just a couple of slobs live here. So yeah, you don't really see anything.
All right. I make my way out.
Okay. And you make your way out through the open back door, and you can see that this baker is still he's digging through bushes. Get out of here, you stupid mutt. I know you're in here. I can smell you. You smell like a burnt baguette. And he's
Joke's on you, idiot.
pawing
Holding
through
a
the
bird
grass.
bag because he
You're actually shoved up his nose.
But yeah, then you're able to slip around back to the road. And as you head back, you actually see a familiar face coming your way. You see Mort of Mort's Port Shorp, the very same, walking down the road. He looks past you as you are invisible and goes right into his Port Shorp. He looks to be fine, and he seems to be in better health than you'd seen him in.
Does he still
when
only
you
have
were
the
younger.
one arm?
He can afford health insurance now.
He does still only have
Poor
one arm.
bastard.
Guys, guess who I just saw?
Who'd you see?
Mort.
Son of a bitch.
Really?
He actually looks not
Still the
bad.
one arm?
Yeah, he didn't
Well,
regrow
I
that. Never came
boy.
back.
Yeah.
Crazy timeline.
Entire cities have not been destroyed. Rothia is here. Who knows? Arms may not have been.
He just woke up.
Arms may not have been lost.
It's a miracle. I can double my port operations.
My corporations.
It looks like he's doing pretty well for himself, actually.
Well, I guess that's one good thing.
Guys, we can't leave this
do this
timeline. We can't do this
Not
to more.
again.
All right, do I see anything else as I make my way back?
No, you were able to go back to Fennec's house, but you can tell that there is not much time left. It took you a little bit to get there and back. So while Gorbel has been doing that, you guys are investigating again?
Investigation.
Is that right?
Yeah. But I wanna go up to his bedroom because that's where,
Okay. That's
where
all
the
the saucy
magic
stuff is.
happens.
Oh, the magic happens.
That's where the scrying magic
Okay, so
happens
you-
too, I bet. Those perverts.
And so where's everybody else going to be investigating?
Are there any like rooms off of his main like living room?
There's 3 total rooms, but yeah, then he's got the upstairs area. But
Also,
on the
what's
main
going
floor,
on? Sorry, go ahead.
no, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say. Also, what's going on in the hearth? Is there anything going on there?
There's a kettle that's over some flames, and you can see that there's something bubbling inside. Weirdly, it looks like food.
I want to investigate that.
Okay. So go ahead, everybody, give me an investigation.
Okay. And I'll look in the other rooms we haven't been in.
I'm keeping it. It fell on the floor, but I'm
18.
18. Okay.
Mine, I think, was 26.
Okay.
28.
All right. Willem, as you are investigating, you look into that pot and you see there's like a bubbling stew going, and it looks like just enough for maybe 1 or 2 portions, so not much in there, probably cooking for himself. But you do see that the area around the pot, there's like a little table that's next to the hearth, and you can see that there's a cloth laid down, and on top of the cloth is a ladle, and then a fork and a spoon, and they seem as though they have been like very like well maintained, as if they like everything looks in its particular place. They're very, very like exact in the way that they have been set out, and as you look around the rest of the area, you see too that everything seems to be in a very particular spot. Like nothing,
Everything's immaculate.
nothing is like slightly askew. Nothing is, messed up at all. Everything is very uniform.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna dip that ladle into that stew and have myself a little taste.
Okay.
Maybe
so
you got a stew going.
So you dip the ladle in and you take a taste, and it's like a very like it's a very like rustic flavor. It's good. It seems like some sort of stew. There's some kind of meat that you think might be pork in there.
Not dog.
Not dog. And it's got like a brown gravy, and it's pretty good. It tastes pretty good. A little bit of thyme has been added, some pepper. It's good. It's tasty.
Nice. Guys, Fenrick's actually a really good cook.
Why are you eating his food?
Can we take it with us?
No, what are we
Probably
doing?
not. I don't know. I was hungry. He was talking about food. He said he was bringing food back. There's food cooking here. I thought I'd give it a whirl.
Yeah, 21 minutes.
Aren't you
is
upstairs?
pretty
Get
long.
upstairs.
I am upstairs, dummy. Sorry, that's Home Alone.
Yeah, and you get the sense, Willem, that based on all of this, Fennec would 100% notice if anything was out of place in his home. Everything is very exact, and he's always struck you as a very exact and orderly person. So you think to yourself, it might behoove you to be at least a little bit careful, if you're not wanting to leave any traces of anything.
Okay. So I just kind of make sure I clean the ladle off and put it back where it was.
Okay.
spits his mouth full of stew.
Yeah, I
back in.
pictured you like having stew all over your hands, like
Nope, I
Just rubbing it on
ate
stuff.
that portion that I took out. Definitely in my tummy now.
Okay, and so you take care of that. Pinwin, you don't find much of anything, just kind of exploring those other rooms down there. More of the same. It's very bare. There's no like secret compartments or anything that you stumble upon. It's all very, very, as Willem kind of discerned, very in its place. Everything is exact. But it does strike both of you as odd that if there was a spot on the wall that was slightly discolored than something else, that he would be okay with that.
right. Dude seems super like.
Anal.
Yeah, I was gonna say anal, and I'm like, we're all.
I can't say
It's
that on the
us.
I can't say that in front of my husband. He'll for sure make a butt sex joke.
And then Tomar, you are exploring the upstairs, and you find in one of his drawers a silver locket that looks extremely familiar to you.
Ooh.
Is that my dad's locket?
Oh.
It appears that it is your dad's locket.
Why is he trying to be my dad? What's the meaning of this?
What's the meaning of this shit?
Gorbel,
And,
Gorbel, he has Gorm's locket.
What?
Fennec has Gorm's locket for some reason. He
Like
had
in his house?
in his bedroom drawer.
Wait. Why does he have so much of your dad's stuff?
I don't know. It's weird. This is all very weird.
Did they even, like, know each other that well?
Not them specifically. I mean, they both knew your mom very well.
Oh, burn.
On who?
Your mom.
Gorbel's childhood. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting more and more suspicious about this.
I have no idea what that could mean. I'm on my way back now. Just wait for me.
And then a moment later, the door opens of its own accord and closes, and you could surmise that Gorbel has entered the building.
It's me.
Woo! That's good.
All right, so how much time has passed at this point?
It's at the 11th hour. You guys feel like there's not much time left.
Okay, I think we should probably vamonos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I strongly believe that him being so rigid and the whole like exact time of his return was kind of his way of trying to tell us without telling us that maybe we shouldn't be here when he gets back because...
Well, should I stay? I'm still invisible.
You could.
Maybe you could see what's going on. Maybe he'll bring back someone, or
Just maybe stay by an open window
or maybe
or door.
He's being really suspicious. Maybe he'll reveal
I said
Just in case,
Yes,
just in
don't
case
you
you gotta
guys
yeet yourself out of
criticize
there. Just in case you gotta yeet yourself out of there.
Get out of here before he comes back. I'll stand outside. Let me just crack this window.
All right.
All right, so you guys leave.
We're gonna
and,
race across the town square to Mortsport Short.
Okay, and Gorbel, you open the window a crack, and then you go and you step outside to hang out by it. All right, so you guys head to Mortsport Short and are being kind of sneaky about it. Gorbel, you see coming down the main drag there, you see Fennec, and he's walking in front of three apparently Rothian soldiers. They have their mode of rank on. They're wearing like light armor as they walk down, and they appear to be in conversation, but Fennec does not seem to be having a good time contributing to the conversation. And as they get close, you can hear one of them say something, and his voice sounds familiar. You actually recognize his voice before you recognize his face, because it's been a number of years since you've seen Salon Farlight.
Fortlight!
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Cylon Fartlight.
You guys, you'll never guess who's with Fennec.
Mort?
Is it Mort?
Mort?
No.
Bitch.
It is Fartlight himself.
Oh.
Fart.
And a couple of Rothian soldiers,
That's
too.
a big name. Why is he coming?
I don't know.
And as they approach, you can hear Silen kind of talking to Fennec, and he's like, "Well, lead the way, and don't drag your feet. We need to get there fast. You don't want my brother to get involved, do you?"
Zerth is still alive.
Neither of them are supposed to be alive.
I know.
It makes sense if Zerth is alive, though, because we weren't there to kill him.
Yeah.
Well, I killed Cylon when we were kids. Kilds. We're kid killers. Killer
Dang,
kids.
you
killer
were a
kids.
kid killer?
Well, you're probably closer to a kid killer than I am. I was a killer kid.
Is Zerth in town? Can you tell?
I don't know. Let me listen.
And he's
Zerth
here,
is in
Fennec.
town. He's pissed.
Let me check the Bands in Town app.
You hear Fennec kind of scoff. "I'm not afraid of your brother, Silen. Well, just get this over with." And he's like, "Oh, you would be afraid of my brother if his anger is raised. Trust me, Fennec." And they go inside of the house. And give me a perception check, Gorbel.
Me? Mm-hmm. Oh.
Oh.
14.
14. Okay, you look through the window, and you find that you're able to hear the conversation, but you also, as you look through the window, you see Fennec, as he's talking to these Rothians, his eyes and his head kind of turn slightly, and he looks right at the crack in the window. But then he looks right back. He doesn't say anything. He looks right back at the Rothians, and he's just kind of like, "All right, let's make this quick. Go ahead and sweep the place if you want. There's nobody here. It looks like they got wind of it. I told you that. They're smarter than you think they are." And Silen is just like, "We will root out these weasels, and we will find them, and then they will go before my brother, and they will have to pay for their insurrection crimes." And Fennec, you can see him kind of squint. "So you were thinking that there's some sort of spies then? That's your great scheme? You believe that spies have come to this small outpost town to, I don't know, look at the pretty scenery, the peach groves? What exactly is it that you think they're doing?" "I do not know, but I will find out. I will root it out. And we shall see whose side you are on, Fennec." And then he kind of flutters his cape, and the three Rothians walk out of the house. And they pass right by you, Gorbel.
They think we're spies.
Ooh.
And Fennec was doing us a solid.
Oh, good.
Nice.
Oh, Fennec.
Nice.
Oh,
Good old
that is
Fennec.
sad, yeah.
Okay, should I make my way back, or are you guys there yet?
Okay, so I remember you specifically having the idea yourself to follow them.
Right, but I think I had like a bit of communication with you guys right before that. Like asking where you were and shit. I don't know.
I don't know, you just seemed more gung ho about, I want to
Okay.
get to the bottom of this.
Okay. Are you guys there yet?
We're almost
headed-
there.
Yeah, we're almost to the shop.
Pinwin fell down, we had to pick him up.
But you're not to the cave yet, right?
No, we haven't
No.
even got to the shop yet.
Oh my god, you guys are
I
slow.
scraped my knee.
Okay.
It hurts.
Scrape my knee.
Pinwin, are you okay?
I healed him up, he's good.
It hurts.
Well, guys, be more careful.
We
I
can't
think
go
I
as
have
The
fast
a-
as
whole leg almost came off. It was uncanny.
All right, I'm gonna follow them. I can be quick.
Wait, why? What are you doing?
I want to see where they're going and what they're doing. I want to know if Zerth is still here or what's
Be
going
careful.
on in
Yeah,
this
you need to
place.
be careful.
I'm invisible.
Salon
You've got an
is-
hour on that spell, by the way.
Salon himself would be easy to destroy probably, but his brother is much more powerful. We had a hard time fighting him.
All right. I'm just gonna do a little snooping.
All right.
I'll meet you at the cave.
All right,
Yeah.
be careful.
All right, so Gorbel, you start following behind them. The rest of you enter Mort's port shorp.
Woo.
You open it up, and it is much larger than it was before. It is filled from floor to ceiling with all manner of pots and ports, and in fact, it looks like at some point he got better at making ports.
Wow.
They're still a little flawed, but you can tell that the Rothians, loving gaudy stuff in general, probably find his port shorp to be a hidden gem. And you can see now that there are several Rothians browsing his wares as you enter. And also, you see that Mort is standing behind the counter, and he looks at you and you, Willem, and you, Tomar, and immediately his eyes register recognition.
I just look down and I proceed further into the back without acknowledging him.
I raise a finger to my lips to shh. And I have my eyes wide at him.
You see Willem. He does a slight nod. Mort does, and then you can see his eyes start to go down. Like he starts flicking his eyes down in a direction what appears to be behind his counter.
Okay, and
Did you say
Rothians
people
are
were in here?
Yes, there are Rothians in there.
Rothians are racist against elves, right?
They are racist against most non-humans. Half-elves are usually people that can get by because they're fairly human to the Rothian standard. But dwarves and halflings would be considered quite distasteful to them. And you guys can see the group of Rothians kind of like crinkle their brows and stare at the group that's just entered, and they start muttering to each other under their breath.
So I kind of run my fingers through my hair to kind of make sure that it's covering my ears. Mm-hmm. And as I do so, I think to Tomar and Pinwin, all right, bear with me, just kind of roll with this. And I start kind of barking orders at them about all right, make sure that we find just the finest pots. We need to do our annual spring cleaning.
Potluck.
And we need to make sure that we're replacing all of the old pottery with new ones. I don't want any of this cheap crap. I don't want any. If you see anything that's listed below 10 copper, don't even bother with it. All right? You know what you're on the lookout for. You know what our master likes.
I just look at him with a blank expression and go, "Duh."
All right, everyone, give me deception.
Okay.
Hell
I won't do less than 10 again. I'm so sorry. And deception. I rolled good. I got a natural 20. 28.
Oh, nice.
I got
Ooh, very good.
5.
40.
40 for deception. All right,
18
so
plus 22. It's good to be level 20.
we'll kind of we'll play out how this goes in a second. Did you want to investigate what was behind the counter that he was looking at all, Willem? Or are you just going to kind of...
I'm trying to play into this farce as much as possible as to not raise suspicion. So I'm slowly perusing the shelves and stuff, and making my way there, but I haven't gotten there quite yet.
As he's doing that, can I look and see if there's a wall or a hallway that leads to Gorm's shop from in here?
Give me perception.
28.
28. You can see pretty much the layout. It doesn't appear that you can see a section that leads to Gorm's shop, but you do see that the shop is much bigger, Mort's is, than it used to be, and there are some hallways that go back, and you can see one that actually does shift left, in the direction of Gorm's shop. Willem, Tomar, since you rolled pretty bad, you are in your pretense to be a servant or whatever to Willem's whatever bossy guy he's being. You actually end up bumping into a shelf just slightly, but everything starts falling and collapsing. Pots and everything start falling around you and shattering on the ground, and everything starts breaking. And the Rothians are just staring daggers at you guys, and Mort as well is now like staring daggers.
I look sheepish.
What are you doing? How do you manage this? I swear, it's like you don't even have eyes in your tiny, stupid head. And I raise my hand like I'm gonna hit him.
And I cower back, but I also glare at him as I'm doing it.
I give him kind of a sorry look. And I turn to Moore. I am so sorry, sir. Of course, we will pay for anything and everything that was broken. And then I look over, I kind of glance over at the Rothians, and I just go, it's so hard to find good help these days.
And they nod. They're just kind of muttering under their breath. And then they turn and start to browse the wares again, but you can tell that they're kind of keeping their eye on Tomar.
Well, I was going to go down the hallway, but if they're keeping an eye on me, then I'll just try and look like a dumb servant.
Is there anything that they can use to clean this up? They'll clean it up. You don't have to do that, of course. I'll pay for it, and they'll clean it up. He should know better.
Mort kind of nods.
All right. That's going to be 4 gold for all that damage there. I got some stuff behind the bar, or the counter, if you would be interested in fixing up that mess.
And his eyes flick down behind the counter again.
Yes, of course. And I make my way over there, and I pull 5 gold out of my pouch and throw that on the counter for him. And then I look and see what he was trying to get me to look at earlier.
And you see behind the counter, with his foot, Mort has lifted up a carpet, and it's kind of folded over, and underneath is the square trap door to the tunnel.
Mort, my man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I nod at him, and then I look at Tomar and Pinwin, and I think to them, guys, he recognizes at least 2 of us, and he's gonna let us use the trapdoor. If you can make your way over here, just try not to be conspicuous about it.
Oh, of course.
Is Mirlock still with us?
Mirlock is still with you. He's just kind of like skirting around the edge of the shop.
Okay.
Just kind of like doing his own thing. He looks human, so they're not interested too much in him.
Well, we'll make our way over there.
All right, so give me stealth rolls, you two.
10.
10, okay.
33.
Okay, so Pinwin, you see this trapdoor and you lift it up, and then you easily slide inside of it. Tomar, you're a little bit.
Yeah.
You're. What were you gonna say?
I do a baseball home slide, into the trapdoor.
Right into the trapdoor. Tomar, you're a little bit noisier.
I try and do what Pinwin did.
You just hit the ground, and the Rothians look back over all angrily. And
what am I going to do with you? I can't believe this. And I make like I'm going to kick him. But I obviously glance to the side.
And so, then you're able to slide into the trap door there, Tomar. So, Miralook, let's see. So Miralook seems unnoticed by these Rothians. He skirts around the outside, and then he waits for them to kind of look away, and then he very deftly hops over the counter, lands softly, and climbs into the trapdoor while they're not looking.
My dude. All right, and then I'm just gonna kind of make like I'm reaching down and looking for something to help clean up the mess and everything. And I'm just going to kind of do like a somersault into the hole.
And you guys land in the tunnel, and it looks the same, a bit less in disarray than it was last time. It actually looks like somebody's used this in the not too distant past.
I look up at Mort and I give him 2 thumbs up.
And he closes the door very softly, and then you guys are bathed in darkness.
Why did we
Gorbel.
why did we have to sneak in there? Why couldn't he just say the cleaning supplies are in the cellar? Go down to the cellar to get the
I think
cleaning
you're
supplies.
expecting a lot from old Mort.
Okay, so as I'm making my way back, or as I'm tracking the group, I think back to everybody. Guys, what if... Are we calling him Cylon or Salon?
Salon.
Okay. What if Salon and Zerth are one of the runes?
Why would they be a rune?
Like, what if they could be the battle mind rune? I mean, brothers. One of them is a good tactician.
I guess.
I don't know.
Why
I
would
don't
they?
know.
Maybe.
I was a child when I took out Salon.
But we don't know what time or place these runes are supposed to be.
All I'm saying is it's worth checking. I'm just spitballing ideas, guys.
Well, I guess. How do you check that, though, exactly?
Well, I'm imagining it's going to be the same kind of, like, feeling or vibe that Mirluck gave us.
Mirluck just straight up lit up and
Yeah, that
was like,
was
ding, 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 I'm a
pretty
rune.
obvious.
Exactly. So I'm
Mirluck
hoping it'll
had
be that
also
simple.
kind of been won over to our side. Like, we had at least gotten on civil terms with him, whereas I don't see Salon and Zerth being so cooperative.
Maybe not.
Who knows?
I don't know
This
if
is
I can
weird.
cooperate with someone whose last name is Fart.
It's fart light.
Which is
Lighter than the
even
average
more
fart.
gross. You fart light.
Yeah, then
It's
you
less
see
gross
the
than fart
fart.
heavy.
I was thinking of a
A
light.
ray of light.
Yeah,
You fart is... It's a
like you
mage
can
light.
see it. Yeah.
I guess our brains went in 2 different directions, Tomas.
It's like looking through the thermal vision goggles and seeing somebody fart.
Yeah.
So yeah, you watch as they kind of round the corner and head through the town square, and then they all go into formerly Glee Vilfetre's house,
They're going into Glee's house.
the old mayor, also the one who looked after Lars back when you were children. And so you see them go in, Gorbel, and you see that going in the front door probably isn't the best option. I don't know what you want to do.
Do I see any open windows?
You don't see any open windows, but you do see that there is a row of hedges that kind of, and that seems to be a holdover from when Glee was in ownership of this estate. A row of tall hedges that kind of like
Surround?
surround is probably closer. They surround the yard and the backyard, kind of keeping it private. They're very dense and very like close together, but you think possibly you might be able to wedge your way through the bottom area.
Okay. I shimmy through the hedges.
All right, give me acrobatics.
26.
Okay, yeah, you slide right through. You just like kind of go at it real quick and just right through the hedges. And now you're in the backyard. You can see that there's a circular fire pit in the center, and there is the back door to the manor. And just as you get to the other side, you watch as the door opens, and what appears to be a servant carrying a box full of maybe trash or something, kind of opens the door with their elbow and then slides a piece of wood into the area between the door and the wall as if to keep it open, and then starts carrying this awkward box towards the fire pit.
My chance. I quickly, but quietly, slip through.
Okay, so you slip in through the door and you find yourself in like a back entryway hall. There's only one direction you can go. Do you follow it?
Yes.
All right.
Guys, I'm in Glee's house.
Woo!
I wonder if that maid is still there and has the crumpets.
Yeah, be careful.
I don't smell any crumpets. I swear I smell like burnt baguette now.
It's clinging to you.
Yes. I
Okay.
smell like Rothians all day.
What are
And-
Zerth and Salon doing?
I don't see them right now.
Oh,
I make my
well,
way down the hallway.
what's going on?
You start going down the hallway, and then you encounter at the end of the hallway a room. There's about 5 or 6 Rothians in here. None of them.
Did you say rune?
None of
Another
them
one in
are,
the bag.
None of them are Salon or Zerth, but they're all chattering to each other in Rothian. They're like,
They're speaking. Wait. I pull out my little translating device.
okay, and you get a little bit closer to them, and it starts to suddenly make sense, and they start saying, like, we are going to sweep the entire town, and we will find them, we will root them out, and then we are supposed to bring them to Zerth for some purpose. It is not for us to say, but we will find them, these stinking infidels that have infiltrated our beautiful village, and we will bring them before Zerth.
Okay. They are definitely hunting us down, and Zerth is here.
Ooh.
And Gorbel, as you look up above them, encased in glass on the wall, is a very familiar object, shimmering with a beautiful red sheen. You can see a circular cut gem in a talisman hanging off of a hook.
What?
You are looking at
No.
the lineage stone of Moonreach.
Oh no.
And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Previously on the lineage stone of Moonreach.
Oh, shit.
Man,
How am I gonna get that?
very carefully.
Oh, man.
I am not a sneak person.
Well, you are now. You're invisible.
What had
But I'm still
previously
big.
happened- What had previously happened to it? Like, didn't you give it away to somebody, Willem? Or
Are
what?
you? Are you?
Yeah, Willem, what happened to it?
Yeah. Well, like I forgot what happened to it, and I need you to remind me about how you completely screwed everybody.
Yeah. Well,
Yep,
this
that's
is
it.
a good opportunity because, damn, were we supposed to do this? Like, how
this
could we
feels
have
really
supposed
weird.
to? How could we have supposed to do this?
Supposed to know. I know what I am supposed to do.
I mean, we're here
No
for a
sense
reason.
it's making.
I don't know. I'm so confused.
Makes a bunch
Fennec's
of sense.
trying to be my dad.
That's weird.
That's
That's the
weird.
weirdest thing.
Yeah.
Not that we found another, well, like another timeline's lineage stone.
And if we go to a different timeline, does this shit disappear? Like,
right,
I don't
does
know.
it hold the same properties or does it become moot?
And do all Rothians make baguettes that way?
do they have a weird
It
backwards
sounds like
bread
they were upset
thing?
about how they turned out, so I'm gonna guess no.
Why can't I make my bread work?
Perfect. Mwah.
It's broken! This is broken bread!
You piece of gluten shit.
Yeah, let's do MVPC. What do you guys deserve 5 points of boon for?
We asked a bunch of questions.
Yes. I broke the wall and I mended it. I had the wherewithal to mend it. I hid the discs in the potty.
I found the wall.
I found one of the discs.
That's
We
true.
lied a bunch.
Oh,
I found
yeah.
out that Fennec is a good cook.
I said I brought you guys back.
Yeah, Pinwin's
That
really
was-
random subterfuge that worked out somehow.
Yeah, that was weird. Like,
Living on the edge.
I brought it back. What? Why are you saying you don't need to say that? That's not a thing that you need to say.
I'm playing the part.
I made some rounds around town.
Some town rounds. I made her
rounds?
invisible so that she could make her town rounds.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds like you guys deserve each 5 points of boon.
We're not done yet.
You're done.
The whole Shakespearean
barked.
experience in Mort's Port Show.
Oh, yes,
Shakespearean.
that was good too.
My Shakespearean dog
My bacon
barking.
Shakespearean.
The dog barking. Yeah, it was good. You guys did a lot of skill-based shit, and for some reason, we're really good at it for the first time ever.
Well, some of us were. Tomas.
Hey, man, I'm not built for that. I'm built for tough, homie.
I'm not built for the sneaks. I'm not built for the decepts.
Yeah, I
I'm
get
built
like
for the
disadvantage on
stabs and
stealth and everything. I am not meant to sneak.
I'm built for the Heelys and the Dealies.
So, go ahead and take 5 points of boon.
Hell yeah.
And let's get to tonight's MVPC. That's right, the most valuable player character. Each of you will select somebody that you believe deserves an additional 5 points of boon. For the audience's benefit and for yours, you will hold up the corresponding number of fingers to the person that you select. So Willem is 1, Tomar is 2, Pinwin is 3, and Gorbel is 4. Now, I'll give you a moment to decide, and then on the count of 3, you guys will all hold up the fingers of the people you believe deserve it. All right, everybody ready?
Yeah.
Hi.
1, 2, 3, vote. All right, looks like we have a dead even split between Gorbel and Pinwin.
Oh,
snap.
yeah.
All right,
Air horn.
Pinwin. Actually, we'll start with Tomar. Why did you vote for Gorbel?
I did not vote for Gorbel. I voted
Sorry,
for
you all
Pinwin.
put your fingers down. I forgot who voted for who.
I voted for Pinwin. And I voted for Pinwin because I was really impressed with his quickness on his feet this time. How he had this bullshit story ready to go. And he was the one that helped find Steel Song, which is not to be taken lightly. I thought that was really cool.
Ridiculous.
Willem, why did you vote for Gorbel?
I just, per usual, she gets into weird Gorbel hijinks and pretended to be a dog. Again, it's like, that's not the way that you have to do it. Why did you choose that? And I don't know. I liked teaming up and making her invisible and stuff. And I mean,
I
she
know
found the
what
lineage
works.
stone. She just
Yes.
decided to be like, I'm going to go with you guys. And we're like, why? That's dumb. And she's like, no, trust me. And then, by the way, lineage stone. What?
Trusted her gut. Pinwin, why did you vote for Gorbel?
Pretty much the same thing that Willem said, but I appreciated the dog bark sound. That was impeccable.
It was a very good dog bark sound.
There's more where that came from, guys.
My next
Stay tuned
character
for
is a
bonus
dog.
content. That was a dog questioning.
I believed it.
Gorbel, why'd you vote for Pinwin?
I like the lying. I like it when anybody lies, really. That was good. He remembered a spell that he doesn't even have, which was cool.
By the skin of his teeth.
And also he was very perceptive and noticed the difference in the wall and found some cool stuff.
Yeah, that was all good reasons. So I think that means that tonight's MVPCs are Gorbel Icetower and Pinwin Dingleroot. Take you 5 points of boon and
Shut up.
Do we each get 5 or
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no,
This
you
hasn't
guys get
happened before.
3 apiece.
Oh.
We'll round it to 3
right,
because
all
Wow,
right,
we
all
did
right, all
have
right,
to
all
blow
right,
the
all
wind
right,
out of
all
their
right.
sails.
Yeah. Blow the wind out of their sails.
I think
Insert
it sucked
phrase
the wind out
here.
of their
Other generic phrase.
Way to
that's
burn
bad.
the wind on the water of the sails that they're skying on.
Way to shoot the penny in the bush.
I got a boon, finally!
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Air horn,
Can you give me
air
a bardy
horn.
one?
Yeah, I'll give you a bardy one.
Yeah.
Tell me which one I gave.
Bardic strumpetation.
Bard-
You are now a
Bardic
prostitute.
Trumpet Nation.
All right, Pinwin, for your boon, you will receive the boon of higher magic.
Ooh, cool.
Wait till you hear what it does.
Bring me your magic higher.
That's a little shoehorned. you gain 1 spell slot, you gain 1 9th level spell slot.
Oh,
Ooh,
fuck.
nice.
Nice.
So you will be able to
Cast at a
have that in
9th
addition, you'll be able to have a 9th level spell.
Do you have? Do you not have 9th level spells?
No.
Oh.
Oh
Because
yeah.
of the dual
Oh yeah.
multi-classing.
Yeah.
Multi-class.
But
dual
I
wielding
mean,
classes. That's what it is.
Yeah.
and you won't be able to
Yeah.
get a 9th level spell, but you could cast.
You can cast at a 9th level. Yeah, which
That's
is
pretty
rad.
cool. Yeah.
Power
More destruction.
His
That's
power
cool.
level's
Or
at
healing.
9.
All right, I think that's it for tonight, guys. Good job. That's we'll see what happens in the next episode. I imagine some more hijinks and some weird timey-wimey shit. But yeah, so thanks to Chad Pieper for that awesome intro song. Thanks to Adrian Von Ziegler for that beautiful background music. And thanks to all of you listeners. We really appreciate it. We're in May now, so anything can happen, even though the virus has not yet lifted. But we'll see. We'll see if we all survive. But thanks for listening anyway. And keep downloading, keep checking out our social media, and please consider, if you like what we do, please consider becoming a patron, making us warlocks, and we've got some awesome tiers that would probably resonate with some of you, if not all of you, probably all of you. I'll just go out on a limb and say that. So check it out, see if there's anything that you like, and consider donating to our cause. We want to keep the lights on. But other than that, that's it for today's episode. I am your host and DM, Seth. And this is the D20 Syndicate podcast, where we go on adventures so you don't have to.
Bring me a more fortune.
You're not my dad.
You.
Do
I have
dogs
a feeling-
do dogs just think cars are fucking like big ass dogs
That makes sense.
that are just
Argus
running
is
along
like,
like,
Look at that dog with metal fucking legs. Fuck that metal leg dog. I want metal
They're
legs.
talking
Why don't I
shit.
have metal legs?
They're
I hear it's a
talking
risky
shit over
procedure,
there.
but I think it's fucking worth it.
woof woof, motherfucker, step up.
They might think that. Some of them.
Who are we? What is our purpose?
Who let the dogs out?
So you,
Who?
so yeah, you guys.
I believe it's whom.
Whom let the dogs out?
Grammatically correct. Whom grammatically correct.
That'd be a fun project. Just grammatically fixing all songs.
It'd have to be all songs because
Yeah.
boy howdy,
Boy, howdy.
they did not
so
do
yeah.
them right.